#idataengineer.
My name is Daniel. Some call me the Data Janitor, and I'm building Pipeline Data Engineering Academy, the world's first data engineering bootcamp. Not one of today's data engineers grew up as a kid imagining becoming one. I definitely didn't. That made me think about how others look at our line of work, and I feel the best way to explain it is through asking a handful of practitioners about their journey and how their work look like. Who are you and what do you do now?
My name is Leandro. I'm a data engineer and also a stock market lover. I'm currently working as data engineer in a company called Clue. I have been working as software engineer for more than 10 years now. Of course, I didn't start it as a data engineer. In my early career, I actually started a company in the beginning.
Okay.
I was doing a little bit of everything there. And also, in this everything, I was also taking care of databases, creating pipelines, and stuff like that. Of course, in the beginning, I was not calling pipeline because I didn't know about these new fancy words,
Mm-hmm.
pipelines. What is a pipeline anyway? So then after some time, I realized, okay, so I want to move to another country. I think I'm ready now to do this. So I start to look some positions around Europe and also in Canada. So I end up here in Germany. I came to work for a company called HelloFresh. There I started as software developer. And then from that, I realized that there was a team called a data team at HelloFresh. And from that, I moved to data. After some time at HelloFresh, I decided was a time to move again, to start a new thing. And then I moved to Clue, where I am now, doing full time data engineering and everything that is related to data there.
What projects or tools or trends excite you these days?
Nowadays, I guess there is a discrepancy between what you see in the market, what they are actually
Hmm.
companies are doing, and what is a hype nowadays, right? So if I look at this, I love to work, for instance, with Kubeflow and also with Delta Lake and stuff like that. But in
Hmm.
the other hand, the companies are not ready to work with this. So what exactly excites me to work with? Not something that I'm working with, So I guess this is the
Hmm.
biggest difference that I see. Although I think one of the things that I'm doing a lot at Clue is doing the entire data platform running in Kubernetes, which I think is really, really nice and also excited me a lot. I mean, I think working with Kubernetes and deploying all the data pipelines there and even having my Airflow running with Kubernetes, and then like I have my own data ingestion there as well. So I think this is the
Hmm.
kind of thing that is really, really exciting. And also, I'm working now with this Snowplow. It's a event stream data platform, like ingestion kind of, and it's awesome. I mean, I'm loving to work with this. It's really a great tool, I guess.
How do you see the role of data and especially data engineering changing in the coming years?
I think most of the tools that we are gonna use in the future is gonna be different. And I think if you look at the last 4 or 5 years, a few tools become like a standard. Like for instance, everybody's talking about Spark, everybody's talking about Kafka. So if you are the engineer, you must know about Spark and you must know about Kafka. But on the other hand, I mean, this is the present. So if you look at the future, I think this is gonna change as well. And the way that I see is
Hmm.
the tools are not that important because it will become as much as possible as a service. So we now have like Kafka running as a service in Amazon. We have like BigQuery, which provides you a auto scaling, let's say, data warehouse. So you don't have to worry about so much about these tools anymore. And then the role of the data engineer changed as well, because if you don't have to manage the database anymore, if you don't have to manage the Kafka anymore, what do you have to do? So I think this is going to be the biggest change that I see over the future, where the data engineer will care less about the tool and more about the results. So integration with several sources, transforming this and be able to actually provide intelligence or be able to provide the data that the data science want. I think this is going to be actually the niche of data engineer in the future.
Thank you. What piece of advice would you give to those who are just starting out their career in data engineering?
Don't focus so much on the tools, I guess. Try to
Mhm.
focus on how to solve the problem and how to actually provide the data to whoever is your stakeholder
Mhm.
or your consumer. Honestly, whoever is using the data is not worried about how you do it. I mean, normally they don't care. They just want data quality. This is really, really important. They just want to have the correct data available. So the biggest challenge or the biggest goal of data engineering, in my opinion, is to so find where the data is and somehow provide this data in an easy way to access. So I guess
Mhm.
the end goal for data engineer: provide a way to access data to whoever needs to.
Thank you. Do you listen to music while you are working?
Sometimes in the beginning when I want to like relax in order to start to do something, but normally
Mhm.
when I'm coding or when I'm doing something that is really really needs my focus, I don't listen to anything. I actually wear some headphones just for the noise cancelling. So I turn on the noise cancelling and then and then start to work. But I mean, I'm not listening to anything. Tricky when you have a daughter that runs around your
Yeah.
house.
If you are a data engineer and you feel like sharing your story, reach out. I'd be happy to chat with you.
#idataengineer